Okay, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to our KAUST Research Conference on Near Zero Carbon Combustion Technology. This is our 7th KAUST Research Conference. This is the first time we've held it as a hybrid, so hopefully this will work well. We have about 40 people in the audience and about 750 people signed up online. So this is by far the biggest conference we've had of the 7. It's a new format this year because of the time zones, and we wanted to save time for panel discussions, which we've learned from previous conferences that this is the most valuable. So we have 6 topical areas, 2 each day: carbon capture, supercritical CO2 power cycles today, 2 topics on ammonia, combustion systems, and combustion fundamentals tomorrow, and then decarbonizing industry and renewable technology on Wednesday. Each topical area will have a keynote lecture, 30 minutes, followed by 4 invited lectures. And these will be short, 15 minutes, so that we can save 45 minutes for a panel discussion. So please submit your questions via the app. We also have an e-poster session. So rather than a poster session around dinner, there are 40 e-posters. So please view those over the next few days and vote. We'll have a winner. One of the highlights, I think, of the research conferences has been a tour of our facilities. Of course, that's challenging when you're not here. So we have a video tour that we'll be loading up probably tomorrow, and we might be able to show snippets of it. So I encourage you to see that. These are always more work to put together than you think they should be. So I'd like to thank Bassam Dali and Gaetano Minotti, the technical leads, for putting this together, and then the staff include Amani, Alia, Rahina, and Veronica. And you see some of them outside, and then Andrew for keeping us in line on the budget. I'd also like to thank the VPR's office for sponsoring this KAUST Research Conference. And with that, I would like to introduce Professor Donald Bradley, the Vice President of Research, who will give a couple opening remarks, and then I'll step back and kind of set the stage for where we are kingdom-wide. So with that, Professor Bradley, if you care to give some remarks, please.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's great to have a chance to speak to the participants in this meeting. The number is steadily climbing. I can see 83, and I heard that you have more than 700 registrants, which just goes to show what a timely and topical conference this is. I would like to add my thanks to Bassam and Gaetano and Bill and the CCRC team for putting together this conference. These KAUST Research Conferences are one of the things that it's a real pleasure to be able to support from the office. They provide a great opportunity to bring people together to talk about important topics in a timely way, and also to showcase the activities that are happening at KAUST. As Bill said, we would really have preferred to have you all at KAUST, so to see the facilities, to feel how things are done in KAUST, and to meet people in KAUST. Clearly that's not possible, but we do hope there will be a time before too long when it will be possible for many of you to come and visit KAUST, and would very much encourage you to do that. So the topic of the conference, Near Zero Carbon Combustion Technology, is clearly important. It resonates very much with one of the key platform programs that came out of the G20 meeting last year, which the presidency was with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And in the leaders' declaration following the G20 meeting, the circular carbon economy was highlighted as one of the things that the Kingdom wished to provide leadership and to create a legacy from the G20 meeting. The Circular Carbon Economy National Program has been launched within the kingdom, and that national program is taking forward how Saudi Arabia will participate within the circular carbon economy. And mirroring that within KAUST, we have established a KAUST Circular Carbon Initiative to bring together the activities from across KAUST, including Clean Combustion Research Center activities, but also many other activities within KAUST. Circular carbon economy is pragmatic, it's technology agnostic, and it's looking to deliver important change in relation to climate in a way that allows people access to clean and affordable energy. The 4 R's of carbon management, reduce, remove, reuse, and recycle, are the means by which this development is taken forward. But it is done through a wide range of different technologies, a number of which will be discussed in your meeting. So through efficiency, through carbon capture, through reusing CO2 for enhanced oil recovery, for geothermal energy generation as a working fluid and so on, and recycling carbon into e-fuels and many other systems. Within the course of the conference, the focus on carbon capture will be critical to delivering a circular carbon economy, development of a hydrogen-based fuel system, so using hydrogen and other vectors such as ammonia and formic acid, developing e-fuel technologies. These will all play a critical role in shifting the energy mix towards a more sustainable future. The internal combustion engine remains an important part of that transition, as electrification is very challenging, particularly in the aerospace and shipping sectors, but even in automotive, in order to electrify the whole of the world's automotive system presents some huge challenges. And so making internal combustion engines more efficient, cleaner, and so on will be a critical part of that. Our Clean Combustion Research Center is playing a key role within KAUST. It's also playing a key role within the Circular Carbon Economy National Program, and we hope that it's providing leadership within the global domain to help address these critical challenges. I think it's fair to say, and I can say it, I think we have an exceptional team with exceptional facilities, and they're using those facilities to address crucial problems. And I hope that that will come out in the meeting as you listen to the presentations and engage in the panel discussions. And I hope you will find that a very informative and enjoyable process by which you learn more about what is being done, learn more about what is being done at KAUST. So finally, just to wish you all the best for this meeting. I hope you find it an enjoyable and informative meeting. And I'm sure there will be many things that come out of it that will stimulate new discussions and new directions for science and engineering. So thank you very much, Bill.
For those of you that are not familiar with KAUST, just a few words. So we are a graduate level only institution focused solely in science and technology. We're very young. We opened the doors in 2009. We're small, we're targeted. We have a faculty of just under 200 and about 1,200 graduate students. The vast majority of our students are PhD students, and they come from all over the world. We are kind of an enclosed campus here on the Red Sea, about 90 kilometers north of Jeddah, the second largest city in the kingdom. We started with Aramco and as a joint venture. Saudi Aramco, the national oil company, agreed to design construct KAUST in 1,000 days, and then operate it for 5 years. And then after those 5 years, so in 2014, the official governance by Aramco ended, and we're now a private university solely funded by our endowment. We have a large population of graduate students and research scientists. We're very much research focused, outcome focused. Within the research infrastructure, we have 3 divisions. Most of us sit in physical sciences and engineering. We also have 10 centers populating these divisions. These centers are focused more on really applications and moving technology up the TRL level and outcome based, and working closely with industry. Within physical sciences and engineering, there are 5 centers: ours, catalysis, solar center, membranes. Sorry, I forgot the last one. And water desal. Thank you. So we're one of the 5 centers within PSE and one of the 10 within the university. So with that preamble, I'll start. So our center, we have a vision and a mission statement that I'll go through quickly. So our vision is to become a world-renowned research center pursuing leading solutions to global challenges arising from combustion. So this is pollutant control, global warming and climate change due to greenhouse gas emissions, and sustainable fuel usage. We want to play a crucial role in enhancing the kingdom's financial well-being. I didn't mention this, but KAUST is a dual mission university. We have the standard academic research-based mission, but we also have an economic impact mission trying to redefine the kingdom's economy, moving away from an oil export-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. So financial well-being, reducing the environmental impact of its energy systems, and positioning the kingdom in a leadership role in clean energy and circular carbon economy solutions. So here you see our mission. We seek to be a knowledge-based understanding of combustion phenomena, develop innovative technologies for clean and efficient energy systems, and provide solutions for present and future energy environment challenges. The center will establish a graduate level research program for the education and training of expert leaders in clean combustion and energy technology for the benefit of the kingdom, the region, and the world. So this is a dated snapshot pre-COVID. You can see none of us are wearing masks, but we're a large group, right? And I think one of the takeaways is that we're all smiling, and happy people are productive people, and we are a very productive group. So these are some of the numbers. So you see we have about 10 faculty, about 10 research scientists, 33 postdocs, 18 research staff, 125 students, the majority of which are PhD students. We're still young, so we only have 150 alumni, but obviously that number's growing every year. I mentioned diversity. There's about 102 nationalities on campus. This is a font-weighted map of where our students come from. So you see it's geographically dispersed. And these are the faculty. And by and large, all of us are somehow engaged in decarbonizing either the energy sector, the transportation sector, industry. Many of you will see these people over the next several days. We have a couple new additions. Bossum joined us this year. Jamie joined us this year, but just arrived yesterday. And Shulu joined us a couple months ago. So again, we have a wide range of expertise from molecular dynamic simulations and kinetics all the way up to IC engines and moving into large-scale engines. We're talking about getting a marine engine with Aramco. We hope that through this conference, you will find topics to work with us on. So here's a map of where our collaborators sit So you see, we collaborate with virtually everybody, just a diverse range across the entire globe. So I hope that the next 3 days will stimulate some ideas that we can work together on. And this is just in the last 5 years. So Donald mentioned the Circular Carbon Economy National Framework. So this is an implementation of the G20 communique adopting the circular carbon economy with the recognition that carbon is not the enemy, but carbon is a tool. It's a tool that we can use. It's a solution that we need to engineer. So a couple statements by the Crown Prince that the kingdom will move towards carbon neutrality. There are specific goals in this national framework to capture 12 million tons by 2027 and 50 million tons per year by 2035. We also have a goal of having 50% of our electricity generated via renewables by 2030. So very ambitious goals, but this is driven by the highest levels of government. Within KAUST, we have started the Circular Carbon Initiative to move along with the circular carbon economy. And us in the center, we in the center are playing in several of these arenas. So renewable energy integration. Again, we believe that the cost of renewable energy is no longer prohibitive. Renewables are cheap. It's really the storage, the distribution, and the use of this renewable energy. So how do we integrate these into existing infrastructure most effectively? Carbon capture. In our center, we're looking at a cryogenic technique, but we have other people in other centers looking at adsorption and absorption, and in this case, a unique material for direct air capture. Nature-based solutions, we're not intimately involved in this as a center, but within KAUST, we have people looking at mangroves and mineralization of CO2. E-fuels, we're certainly interested in taking hydrogen as renewable and then reconfiguring it, perhaps with CO2, to generate fuels that can be fungible commodities and adaptable to the existing infrastructure. Right? We've got hundreds of trillions of dollars invested in a hydrocarbon infrastructure. We need to exploit that. And so it's certainly going to be easier in certain applications like aviation to adapt the fuel to the system and generate the fuel for the system rather than change the system for hydrogen or ammonia or other low carbon or zero carbon fuel. And then geosolutions. The kingdom is blessed not only with a lot of fossil fuels, both oil and gas, some of the best solar and wind, but also aquifers, saline aquifers, and other basaltic cavities for geosequestration. So we're talking with our Petroleum Research Center about a demonstration, small-scale demonstration, where we capture the CO2 using one of these emerging techniques and then sequestering it. So the kingdom has several giga projects. NEOM is perhaps one that you're most familiar with. So NEOM is the new city of the future up in the upper northwest corner of the kingdom, Gulf of Aqaba next to Jordan. It's, you've heard the numbers, $500 billion investment, where this will be the city, there's several cities of the future. And part of this will be an industrial city, which you see here. And then within this industrial city, there'll be several research centers or implementation centers. So one of them is the HIDC, the Hydrogen Innovation Development Center, which will focus on e-fuel design and production at scale. Initially, they'll be looking at methanol synthesis from split water and captured CO2, and then taking this methanol and synthesizing a gasoline type fuel. So different carbon capture and utilization technologies, and then innovations in hydrogen production and storage. The kingdom will have about 5 gigawatts of electrolyzer. We'll be one of the largest, if not the largest, supplier of hydrogen, green hydrogen. It's moving aggressively towards blue hydrogen. It's moving aggressively to blue hydrogen on the East Coast in Jubail, where they do most of the hydrogen now is brown hydrogen. So it's steam reforming of methane. They're now implementing carbon capture to turn this from brown hydrogen into blue hydrogen, but the goal, of course, is to move to green hydrogen, which is water splitting. Also part of this industrial city will be the Green Maritime Propulsion Hub. So maritime and aviation are viewed as two of the most difficult sectors to decarbonize. Probably not going to be running ships on hydrogen or ammonia. So can we look at other low carbon fuels or fuel blends? So this will be a research center. And if you look at bunkering facilities, there are 20,000 ships that run through the Red Sea annually, and there's no bunkering facility. So one of the goals would be to turn this into a bunkering facility for renewable or green or greenish fuels. And then the Red Sea Development Center, one of the other giga projects, is looking at algal biofuels. We have lots of saline water and sunlight and CO2 availability. So algal biofuels, may make sense. So with that, I'll thank you for your attention and answer any questions briefly before we get started with the program. Okay.
So let me add my welcome to everybody here and online, and welcome you to the conference. We really worked hard to try and cover quite a lot of grounds in these 3.5 days, and we hope that you're going to find it useful. The success of this conference would be in your interaction. This is why we maximize the discussion time and panel discussion. So do please write questions and comments on the topics we're discussing. Professor Bradley and Professor Roberts are absolutely right that these are hot topics, and the speakers we selected are people who are with their fingers on the pulse in many of those. It's an exciting field, and we hope you're gonna enjoy it. Let me emphasize the e-posters online. There's 40 of those, and they're full of rich information. Do have a look. They actually run in 3 minutes, sort of short presentation, so the information is presented to you as well. And if you wish, you could also help us pick sort of at least the public choice of the best poster. In terms of logistics, please monitor the website for the program. It is up to date all the time, so you should be able to tell when it is. Remind you that the time on the website is Saudi time, so don't get confused the time conversions, and that we will announce the e-posters prizes tomorrow at the end of the sessions. We're recording the sessions, and we're hoping to be able to make them available to all of you in the future. And I think that's what I have to say. I think that's